So please tell me a bit about the North American Islamic Trust and how it ties into perhaps this Chattanooga shooting terrorist attack.
Well, I think you summed it up very well at the beginning about how the media and investigators, federal investigators, FBI, and the prosecutor on the scene there in Chattanooga are looking everywhere but the obvious place, the mosque, where he and his family attended for decades, and dismissing any religious motivation. But I pulled the property records, all the property records, and the state charter for the shooter's mosque in Chattanooga, and they all tie back to the same trustee for the Marathon Bombers Mosque, as it happens in Boston, and the 9/11 Mosque in Virginia. The Justice Department, this is the North American Islamic Trust, as you say, that it's known as NAIT, N-A-I-T. The Justice Department has designated that trustee for all three of those mosques, and by the way, also the Phoenix Mosque, where the two ISIS terrorists attacked the Dallas event. That was a NAIT.
Wait, so the Garland shooters were also tied to a mosque with this NAIT as the same trustee.
That's right. So that's four right there. That's a huge pattern that can't be overlooked, but although it is being overlooked. But the Justice Department has designated NAIT, the mosque trustee, as an unindicted terrorist co-conspirator and a front, blacklisted as a front for Hamas and the Muslim Brotherhood in America. And so we know that in the Chattanooga case, we now know that the North American Islamic Trust owned the original mosque, and we know NAIT is the registered agent incorporated for the new mosque, the Islamic Society of Greater Chattanooga, which has incorporated on its campus the old mosque. So that is a North American Islamic Trust, Hamas/Muslim Brotherhood controlled mosque on the ground. That is a radical mosque by anybody's definition, including the government, the Justice Department, which is running this investigation and running away from the facts, as it turns out, because federal investigators are not even looking seriously at that mosque. And I mean, they won't even say Abdulaziz was religiously motivated, for crying out loud. They won't call him an Islamic terrorist or even a terrorist.
Right, because everyone writes in their journal about how much they want to be a shaheed, a martyr. That's just totally normal stuff, apparently. I don't know what else to say. I've been amazed.
Clear, yeah.
I've been amazed, Paul. And you know, when I worked at the NYPD Intelligence Division, we were looking at radicalization all the time. You know it when you see it. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward thing. And somebody who's saying the things this guy said, expressed he was also searching for religious justifications for violence. I mean, he very clearly had made these radicalization steps. And the most important thing in terms of defining this for me is just the choice of targets. You walk around, you shoot the first people you see, maybe you're just insane. And that does happen. You pick out military service installations, military recruiting centers, and go after them in a very targeted fashion. This is clearly part of a broader ideological agenda. It's clearly jihadist in nature.